Hello.
Hey Josh, how's it going?
Not too shabby. How about you?
Good. I
Oh, whenever I hit the stream, I miss like a blurb from hearing things twice.
yeah, you have to mute the stream. So I don't know if you've seen it, but a while back I had some artifacts in my Z um as I did a two tower print of two different filaments. So basically I was printing two cubes, but one with one tool and one with the other tool, or two towers I
Okay.
should say. And I had some issues with the repeatability, I think.
Oh,
So
were you missing steps? Were you getting like an angled tower?
it wasn't an angled tower. It was kind of a shifty back and forth tower. I can I can dig up the picture in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Was it in chat?
yeah, it should have been in chat.
I could probably dig it. Go back in time. It was in there somewhere.
Um, I can find it though. You don't have to do the searching. Um, So what I was gonna try to do, I was just curious if maybe I'm too aggressive with my wipers. So I'm dropping my wiper bar down so it's not hitting the
Aggressive
nozzles.
with your vipers?
Oh, with the vipers again, are you?
The vipers? You have two vipers?
Oh, I
Anyway,
found the pictures.
yeah. So I'm gonna try to print, but this time I'm going to try to see what happens if I use like a tower.
Oh, I see
And
it. It's like a shift.
yeah, and it kind of shifts back and forth a little bit.
Okay. There's a couple reasons this could happen. Okay. First off, is the easiest one is it could just be the lost steps.
Well,
That's
if
the easy one.
I find it
Oh, go ahead.
unlikely because the red tower was pretty straight while the black tower was wibbly wobbly.
Oh, these are not side-by-side comparisons. This is the same time.
Yes, these were printed simultaneously.
Okay, so this is
Except,
just with the tool change. Got it.
yeah, because I wanted to see what was happening with the consistency. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the print again,
I
but
don't
like
think
I
it's...
go ahead.
Okay, so your red looks great, but your black one has the shift. I see the shift in the black one.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I see the shift in the bottom of the red one, too. No, wait, no, that's just in the beginning. When it's
Well, I was
starting to...
gonna say, yeah, right in the beginning, it seemed like the red tower was shifty, and then it was like pretty straight all the way up, and then the black tower all of a sudden started doing the jig.
Yeah, so
So
it could be a tool repeatability issue. That, honestly, I think is the most likely suspect.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. And one of the things that I'm wondering about is my wipers, because I've been dragging across the wipers pretty hard, so I'm dropping the bar, and then I was going to try printing with the prime tower, or I've never
Okay.
done that before, but just to see what happens.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good approach. I actually haven't done it with the prime tower with Prusa Slicer. It like does some weird thing where it like dribbles over midair before it actually primes. It's weird. Anyways, let me know what you think of it. But I think this could be a repeatability issue. The way to do it, there's a couple ways to track it down. The first way to do it would be to, if you have a camera installed, just pick
Yeah,
up the tool like 50 times and take pictures with over the camera and see, and basically run that through, just like flip through the pictures and see if it moves.
right.
So that would be one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to do prints like you're doing, which is fine.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I want to go right now, just because it makes a nice visual thing that you can kind of sit there and stare at. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. The other thing too that I would check is look really, really closely at your tool when it does a pickup, move. And if you see the tool moving as it's being picked up in like an angular fashion, so if you see it being twisted in any way,
Right.
I would adjust the parking post such that you can try to get rid of that twist if you see
like,
any twist.
Right now, on all honesty, these parking posts are not really. Well, it's not even just the parking post; it's the tool on the parking post. Like even if the parking post doesn't move, this is. Oh no, the parking post itself is flexing.
Let me go back to the stream really fast.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if you just take it off the parking post for a second and then just see if you can flex the parking post, can you twist it along the axis of the...
Yeah, I mean, if I put the tool in here and I kind of move it, I can feel a twist in it.
If you can feel it, okay, so the direction, the angular direction of the twist lock as it twists is going to exhibit a twist on the tool. So if the parking post is compliant in that direction and twists with it, then you might not pick it up correctly.
Huh.
This plate will have to be significantly more robust to prevent twisting.
It should be, but I won't say that. I won't say that it's a completely solved problem because it works for me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it works for everyone. That would be the first thing I would check. The other thing you could do is do a tool pickup like 20 times, and every time you pick it up, just like move to the center of the bed, take your hand and grab the tool and just give it a light wiggle. And if you feel it while it's in the carriage, and if you feel it click in any way, that's a repeatability. That means it's an issue, and it means you're not being picked up correctly. Any of those 20 times, we'll say 20 times.
Right.
Daniel had that issue. He fixed it by cutting his spring down, which is kind of like munches a little bit harder into the plate. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to honestly, the Delrin wedge plates will fix this.
Yeah, I want them, but I can't get any right now.
You can get the machine into a working state without it. It's a little bit more finicky. So make sure that when your tool's being picked up, you don't see the tool noticeably jiggle in any direction as it is being picked up. Or like, not jiggle, but like twist along the twist lock direction, if that makes sense.
No, I understand what you're saying. I think I'll have to do some heavy redesign in the, basically, this should be as robust, if not more robust, than the design that was on here before. However, I don't know if that was your latest and greatest design or what, because I can't remember how.
Post,
I can't remember.
Anything.
Oh, I thought you changed the parking posts.
May or may not have changed.
The other thing too is you have springs in your parking post, right?
Yeah, but they don't really.
Okay. But that's okay. I mean, like that. We can actually use those to our advantage. If you actually push the tool in such that the springs are pushing back on it and you're compressing the springs, that would be honestly a little bit better for the parking post, for the tool pickup, because now you're kind of guaranteeing that you're being pushed, that the tool balls are being pushed into the other side of the coupling.
It does. It pushes a millimeter or so into the spring. So when I drop it off, I actually push into the spring a little bit, and the force pushes it back.
That's good. So another approach would be to push a little bit more.
Yeah, I can try that.
Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
Going all right. I think that when you change the bed lift couplings, did they move in or out at all?
No.
Did the position of the Delrin or of the lead screw move at all?
No. You're talking about the parts that couple the bed, the printed parts that couple the bed with the pins pushed into them.
Right. Yeah, those. They did not move.
Yeah, they did not move. Okay, so that's not 100% true. The back one, well, it's like 99% true. The back one, the pins were spaced out like 0.5 millimeter closer than the other two, so I just spaced them out all evenly. But that shouldn't change anything.
Okay. So I ran into, when I did my first bed lift, I ran into a, and this may be part of the, I ripped out the thrust coupler because I was running into issues last night, and it turned out after taking it out that I just had this, I had two of the Z motors reversed. I had the two front Z motors reversed in the config.
Oh no, that's a terrible thing to run into.
It is, and this is after I had already ripped out the, like I said, ripped out the thrust gauges. Because like I couldn't figure out why it kept failing like it did, but I also got a bind up or a lead screw lockup at the top,
Okay.
and I'm still getting it with the rear Z, the upper coupling with the rear Z.
Okay, so are you saying with a bind up you're getting, who's binding with what?
So the where the lead screw goes through the, not the, I don't know, what do you call it, retainer?
Oh, the little, the printed part at the top?
At the top, yeah.
Yes. Is that grabbing it?
Not only that, it's like when the coupler gets all the way up, the bed lift part gets all the way near the top, there is a visible angle there.
Okay.
Where the Delrin comes through, where the lead screw, and it goes to that. So I just took those all off.
Yeah, I did change those, but that was like a February thing. I think
I will
that
have to
that
go
was.
back and probably print them again because
So here's a good question that you can actually answer for yourself by
they don't
just.
have numbers on them. No.
Okay, then they're probably the old ones. The question is, if you look at the holes that the lead screws would go into, are those chamfered?
Oh, I don't. Let me look. A little bit at the top, but not at the bottom. No.
Okay, yeah, then that's why. Because what was happening is that it's basically, I mean, the lead screw is a screw. There was enough kind of to catch it and actually get it to start screwing into the thing.
Yep, there's evidence of that.
Yep. Okay. So the version after that probably started to have part numbers. That's where I chamfered the crap out of the bottom section. So it was basically impossible for that to happen.
Okay. Well, it's still, when I've got it on here, it doesn't. It's and maybe I've got to go back and look at the dimensional accuracy, but all my other prints are in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm.
So it still binds up. So I've got them taken out, just like I've got the thrust gauges taken out at the moment.
That's okay.
And I've definitely got a warped bed. So
yeah, I saw the pictures of that. That's pretty extreme with
I mean, that's definitely noticeable, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so here's another. Oh, go ahead.
But it's noticeable. Mesh bed leveling is all. It can fix that.
Yeah, it's like fixable, but I'm glad that you have. I think with the granite slab, I think that's a compelling argument to just mention it to see me CNC.
Okay. Well, they're not making beds anymore, at all. So.
Are they like never ever making them again?
Well, they're certainly not making anymore at the moment.
Well, yeah, and yeah, I know about now. I think my understanding is that he's probably busy doing space shields because
he is. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's back in January or something like that, so it doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah. If you I
mean, I could mention it to him, but he's not going to make it, right?
Yeah, he's probably got other stuff to worry about.
Oh, hey.
Hey. Hello.
So I do have a new. I haven't received my yet either, so.
Okay,
and
so
I don't have any shipping information.
You could, in theory. Oh, interesting.
What's that?
Oh, okay. You haven't stuck the heater onto anything yet.
I have not stuck the heater onto anything yet.
Okay.
I mean, I have the CNC heater, and at this point I might just build out this. I don't like the idea of not having Mr. in the heater near the center of the bed, and only having a thermistor at the edge of the bed. how hot is it going to get, right?
I think it really depends on the quality of the bed heater.
Well, it's their 300 watt. It's the 300 watt heater that CME sold
Yeah,
as part of
so
the package.
I don't think anyone has any experience with that one yet.
I mean, I suppose I could put it on there. I am also up. I was running into why does this not work the way I expected to?
Why is
So
that?
I got my firmware upgraded this afternoon.
Okay.
With my tool board, I'm getting ready to make up a tool.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to decide how I'm actually gonna use this tool. I think I'm gonna make a bracket for my tool board and mount it in the front of, because I've got a set of 3 screws, heated insets that go into the tool carrier plate, the tool locker plate, and then you can attach whatever to those screws to that
Okay.
to whatever brackets, right? And it's a triangle, so it's not going to rotate. Yeah, so I was 9
Hello,
command.
Uh,
What's that?
so starting to break up a little bit, but
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Dang it! Hold on.
Sorry.
Man, this
No, it's not you. It's.
We want to know what you have to say. How about that?
How's that? Is that better?
Oh, yeah. Wait, say something?
Is that any better?
Oh, that's great.
Okay, well, I think it may have had something to do with the old noise suppression beta thing that was going on that I've
yeah,
got.
yeah, I've had it go wackadoodle on me a couple times.
It
Yeah.
thinks
So,
you are noise. How dare it?
well, let's see now. If I turn it back on, is it any better? Did it just get funny again?
You're fine at the
Man, you gotta
moment.
say something. Seems okay here now.
I've been talking. How's that? Is that any better?
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So so what I was looking at is carriage.
All right, now you're cutting out again.
Oh, we're back. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'll just turn it off. Powered by Crisp. Powered by Crunchy Chips. How's that? Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good so far.
Fine. And I'm running this on my computer, so on my laptop, which has got plenty of processing power. The GCode, and I put it in the config thing. So there is a trigger. You can set a trigger on a switch. So you can have an e-stop button that goes to one of the I/O ports.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an actual physical button that triggers an e-stop.
Okay. It's like a software one. But yeah.
Well, it's a physical button instead of just a software one, but it just goes to an I/O port, right?
Right. Yeah, it's activated by software is what I meant.
Oh, right. So there's an M950 that you use to set up the pin, and then an M580 something.
Okay.
And I put it in the Discord in the software configuration thing. Configs and software earlier in the afternoon before I started messing with the bed twist. There it is, the M950 J1CIO4, because that's where I've got the carriage plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's an M581. P1, T1 is a trigger, which is a pause on trigger. S0 is on the leading edge. So it's on the leading edge of the change in state, and then C1 means it's printing, or it only is valid while it's printing.
How does it know it's printing?
Yeah, you can set a trigger that only printing.
Oh, I guess you just put it in you just like tell the state of the machine that it's
right.
Okay, gotcha. You'd be like, you're printing now, and then when you're done printing, you put it in the end of your G-code.
Well, no, you don't even have to. This is in the config G, right?
Oh, I guess my confusion is like, how does it know when it's printing? I guess it's just running motion commands, I suppose, with extrudes.
There's a state. There's a state for the board when you're when you're running a print job.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a printing state.
Oh, okay, that's useful. I didn't realize that it
Yep.
had
So
that. Was that smart?
yep, pretty smart. The other thing is you can deactivate the trigger too by G-code. So you can deactivate and reactivate the trigger. So if you put in your tool change, right? So during the tool change, you deactivate this trigger and then reactivate at the end of the change. At the end of the tool change, that means you're not going to trigger a pause because it's still in a printing state with the tool while the tool change is going on.
Yeah.
But you just have to bracket your tool changes with this, activate, deactivate the trigger, or deactivate, activate the trigger.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you're not going to trigger a pause during a tool change. But you can also have trigger G-code. So it's like where the T in the M581, the T command or the T parameter, T0 is an E-stop. If you got a T0, that's an E-stop, right? It just overrides everything. T1 is a pause, and then if you go Tn greater than 1, there's a trigger n dot G that would be activated when that trigger is activated. So you could have a row of physical buttons that do things.
That's cool. Yeah.
But you got to set up the switch or the I/O pin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the name 950 comes in. There's the J, and the problem is I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to get that pin state in the status on the duet control. So if you had just like an indicator board, does that make any sense?
Yeah. So if you were to be able to display it on the web or the panel duet.
Yeah. Yeah. It would just be a dashboard item on the status of the dashboard.
Is there any kind of like ooze shield in Prusa Slicer?
Is there an ooze shield?
That's
ooze shield or draft shield.
Whatever you want to call it.
Well, an ooze shield is something that you're putting the tip of the nozzle against while while it's in the purge state.
I wanted to try to print a wall around the print that would
That's
print
a draft shield.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was an ooze shield. Simplified 3D calls it a ooze shield.
Oh, really?
A wall, like a shield around the printed part.
Weird. Yeah, I've always heard it called a draft shield because it's actually designed to create a draft
here it is.
wall.
So, I mean, that would make sense too. I guess you could use them interchangeably. I see where that comes from.
Whereas ooze doesn't seem to make a whole lot of. So anyway, that's my Jubilee's making noise. So there you go. Yay!
Oh, that's you.
It lives.
It lives. I mean, I actually posted videos on YouTube.
I saw, but they're unlisted. Oh, it's fine.
They are unlisted.
They look great.
You have to have a link.
No, I was scrolling back a little while. Oh, yay! Okay, I'm glad that Daniel got it working.
Daniel got what working?
He was suggesting earlier swapping the U, the sense of what for homing, and
yeah.
There was a good argument, but we went through like the 4 cases of possibilities, and it ended up being that in all cases, like you could still get it to operate the same way with the old state. So I kind of suggested a way to do that did not require swapping the sense of home for U. And it looks like he's got that working, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically the failure mode, I don't know if you were keeping up with the chat earlier, but the failure is...
I was cleaning my garage to make preparation for I was making a home for the...
I don't expect anyone to keep up with this, with conversations in the chat because they go really fast.
Yes.
And I thought I had trouble keeping up, and then I looked at the Railcore chat that somebody had added me at some point, and I was like, oh, let me answer that question. Then someone right after that had basically answered it for me, and then there were like dozens of messages after that, and I was like, there's no way I'd be able to keep up with that.
Okay.
Anyways, the idea was, hey, why don't we switch home on U to be the locked side instead of the unlocked side, since there's limit switches on both. That way, if you were to power off and lose power, if you were to power on when you homed the U, you wouldn't drop the tool. You would instead pick it up again.
Yeah.
So the argument for is that when you home, you wouldn't drop the tool. And the argument against, though, is that the machine's still not usable in that state. And so if you home, you're going to, instead of dropping the tool, you're going to smash it into the z-axis instead. So it's like pick one bad thing or the other bad thing.
Apparently, I didn't print. Oh, that's right. I don't have the right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to assemble a tool post from all the bags of miscellaneous parts I've printed. I think I've printed pretty much most of every tool post at least 3 times. I have like 4 motor plates around here, most of them with inserts. So I'm just trying to figure out which ones I'm going to use. And I have somehow I managed to mess up my. I've got multiple copies of the tool post or the tool board Chimera mount on my computer because I keep working on the stuff at 3 a.m. or something like that.
Oh no.
So I don't know which copy is which. So there's that. And SolidWorks
I've been there before.
Being successful. There's not being helpful with that.
Quick side note.
Oh yeah.
One thing that I've been wondering about in the script, you have purge nozzle, and then after the purge you have a delay, and then after the delay you retract 1 millimeter. How does it get that millimeter back?
Oh, it's in the default slicer setting. Okay, not the default slicer settings. You have to put it in the tool changer slicer settings.
Where is that? Because I've been looking for it and I haven't been able to figure out where that was.
Let me, cancel that. Let me see if it's been a while since I found the slicer setting in Prusa Slicer. So it's going to take me a while. I know where it is in Simplify 3D, but that doesn't help you right now. So let me see if I can dig it up in Prusa Slicer.
I've been tempted to make a profile for this for S3D as well.
Extruder 1, extruder 2. There we go.
Tool change
retraction when tool is disabled. Yes, okay. So if you go to printer settings and go to the actual tool, like extruder 1 or extruder 2, it will say retraction when tool is disabled. There it is, yeah. And that should say like a number that's non-zero.
2.
Does it say 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what that's saying is that when you park the tool, it's gonna suck it up 2 millimeters, and before you resume printing again, it's going to like push it back 2 millimeters. If that doesn't match the tool changer macro, you might be fine if it's too much and you're printing in ooze tower, but you might not be fine if it's too little. Because then you have like a error that you have to print through.
Yeah, I was just trying to understand where in the world that was happening, but so thank you.
Yeah, but that's where it is. In fact, you can even add an extra. You can smoosh extra with the next setting below that, which is like the extra length on restart. That's when you unretract. It will unretract 2 millimeters plus whatever you add.
Yeah. So what I was gonna do with the ooze shield is I wanted it to like just ooze out just, I don't know, like a millimeter of filament, just to get like a little bit out of the nozzle, so that way it was primed when it got to the shield, and then it would go in and start printing.
Yeah, so one way to think about this is that in your slicer, the slicer will do bookkeeping for you. So if you retract, it will if you tell the slicer to retract 2, it will unretract 2 before it picks it up. If you do anything in the macros, you have to do your own bookkeeping there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I always just purge extra and err on the side of dumping too much. And by which I mean I jump a little bit, and then the slicer also retracts and unretracts some other amount.
The other thing that I've been wondering about is why we would purge before we would come in and pick up the tool. So what I was thinking is you could do an extruder move as you move into the dock, so that like when you pick the tool, it's at its most recent, because I think one of the things is you let it go out and then you wait and then you suck it back up. I guess you're going over a wiper, so it doesn't really matter, but I mean, you could do some of that during those moves, and you could bury some of that time for a tool change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you could do that. You know what? The slicer might do that already, but I don't quote me on that. You would have to actually check the G code generated by the slicer after T1 or T0, after a tool change command is executed. You'd have to see, does the unretraction come with the return to printing location? I don't think it does, but it's possible.
I'm just going to try something here.
Unless you did a retract, your pause might have something to do with it.
Uh-huh.
I am trying to find a set of wings. Did you know that you can buy tools or not tools, power supplies and remote power supplies and multi-packs?
You can buy power supplies and what?
Multi-packs.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can get 2 LRS 24s for $57 instead of. I mean, you save. It's not a very big savings, but there's a little discount. So that's a thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What was it? Oh, I also, you know that nylon insert that you see on the CR10s and stuff like, or not nylon, but the vinyl extrusion inserts that you see on like the CR10s and things.
Mm-hmm.
Works great for cable management. So I've got a couple of chunks of it tucked up along the bottom of my lower extrusions. Pick up my my Z wires, and they're hidden and supported.
Oh.
Oh, actually, I think I'm thinking about I'm thinking about cable management, like wire wrap.
No. This is a vinyl. It's like screen. It's a vinyl insert pressed into the extrusion for color and whatnot, and to cover the slot.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, OpenBuild sells those.
Yeah.
And they just they click in.
Well, yeah, it's soft vinyl, so it just kind of pushes in.
Yeah.
But I've got, because I've got multiple CR10s and things like that, I keep getting big spools of this stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, they're nice for coloring.
You can cut it into length and whatnot. So if you've got wires coming in and out of the extrusion, so it does a pretty good job of just tucking in wires not in a sheath. 1/8 inch is great. 1 inch is great. But a lot of our wire bundles are somewhere.
What?
Somewhere in the middle. Between 1/8 of an inch and an inch.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch on the. And I got the stuff with the red stripes in it.
Oh, I do admit that does make it look nicer.
So yeah, go ahead.
So I picked up a couple things on my since I have extra time waiting for the plates now from Mandala once he gets those out.
Yeah, they should go live tomorrow, right?
He said, yeah, he thinks tomorrow. He actually sent me a picture yesterday of a stack of probably maybe 8 he had already made up sitting in a box. But
yeah.
He basically said he is trying to make sure he has enough built up that he doesn't have to pause to do production. He's like, get it cranked out and get it out the door.
I'm not
which is
sure.
cool.
I wonder why he just doesn't take pre-orders or something like that, or be like, anything you order now, it's gonna be shipped in a week, or something along
Yeah,
those lines.
exactly.
Well,
I literally would have put my money in the man's hand yesterday.
Fry.
I mean,
Right.
like he's gonna
I
get
put it
it.
in his hand like 2 months ago, but that's beside
Yeah.
the point.
It's all right.
So,
I'm waiting for Philistrator to give me a ship notice on.
so while I've got all that stuff going on, I was like, well, I might as well look at other things that are going to make things interesting.
Oh, you didn't.
So I'm going to replace the bearings in my rails with
my.
high precision silicon nitride ceramic bearings.
Holy crap.
It was like $12 for 100 bearings. It's like $12.
Yeah,
So
they're not particularly expensive.
Okay.
so I'm going to buy a couple and give it a try. Everything I've read is that basically you can almost go with like no lubrication.
Oh, well, hey, let me know. That sounds awesome.
I would have been interested back when I was rebuilding the bearings. Where were you then? Jeez.
Yeah, I always assumed that they would be stupid expensive. And that was kind of my like but I was talking to somebody who's a friend of mine and he's like, "Oh yeah, I use them in bicycles all the time."
Well, that's cool.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's super cool.
Side note.
Mm-hmm.
My brain just went completely blank, so I have no idea what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I got one of the Z-Catch nozzle removal tools. The ones that we're talking about the other, Brandon and I were talking about it. The Z-Catch.
Oh yeah, let me know what you think.
So I will say my impressions on it so far are middling. The machining isn't the greatest, is kind of what my gut tells me. There's some stuff that just doesn't align very well. There's, it basically what they did was they took a socket and captured it inside of a thing to hold the block, and they have a little pin that sticks out of the. You know how you have the what do you call it? The ball release on like a socket, right? Your ball detent.
Yeah.
They basically took the pin that is the ball detent and drilled it so that it goes out through the top of it, so that it basically provides a little bit of an action to push the nozzle out when you're done, right? So that you don't have to fiddle around to get the nozzle out or shake it. You can just turn it on its side and give it a push. But it was very poorly machined, is what I would how I would describe it.
Cool.
It doesn't like. What should be a solid 90-degree angle relative to the bottom of the thing is not a 90-degree angle, right? But
so it had tremendous potential, but was poorly executed.
Yeah, and there's parts of it that are really nice. The machining on the exterior body is done very well. The things that are like visual are done very well. It almost feels like it was done by somebody who had an idea, and they built kind of the look and feel around it. Like, one of the things I'll tell you about it right now is it's heavy as all frig, and trying to hold it underneath your printer and keep it positively engaged while you're holding it, I could see it being a little bit. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit heavier than it should be. It's about twice the weight that I would imagine it should be.
Got it.
I mean, it weighs about as much as a socket wrench. But it's, and I get it. They probably did it because by having a big giant chunk of steel as the thing that's holding the nozzle, it's going to take a while for it to get hot while you're trying to, tighten or loosen the nozzle.
That makes sense.
Now, if they wanted to be like, if they wanted to get an AVE style rating of Skookum as frig, they would actually put a torque wrench built into the bottom of it, and then that would just make me happy. Then it would be worth every freaking penny. They could probably charge.
Is it 3 Newton meters for a nozzle?
I think
the nozzles are 3 Newton meters.
it also depends on which one. So I've been looking at like the Dragon hot ends from Triangle Labs, which I don't know if you've looked at those. They're kind of a rip-off of the Mosquito. Basically, they improved on the Mosquito and managed to stomp all over the patent and probably get themselves banned eventually, would be my guess as well.
So there you go.
Because it does like kind of blatantly, depending on how much you think they have a valid patent on the Mosquito, kind of lets you know.
Well, I mean, what are the patented parts? Using the surgical steel tubing as the heat break?
No, actually, the biggest thing that they have a patent on is the way that they have a couple patents on. They have a design patent which doesn't really hold much water in this case because it does look different. But they do have a utility patent on the way the block attaches to the. You basically have an outer block, and then you have the.
Sure.
You basically have an outer frame that is what the heat block screws into with 4 little pieces, and then you have a isolated separate heat break that isn't touching any of that. So I mean, it's a fairly valid patent.
But there's a button in there, I can hear it.
Well, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's kind of novel and obvious. It's kind of novel, but it's also kind of obvious, right? You know, you're trying to reduce. You know, here's the quandary: you're trying to reduce the amount of contact between the heat break and the nozzle. You're also trying to make the hot end more stable, so that you're not putting. Because let's put it this way: if you took that tiny little surgical steel tubing and you dangled the heat break or the hot block from it, you would snap it off. You would like snap it off immediately the first time you hit a print at a good clip, right? So to me, it's kind of obvious. Well, it needs to bolt to something else. The fact that they keep the thing that you mount it to, and that thing is kind of exterior to the heat break, is the novel and new part. So it probably qualifies. Whereas if you look at like Mellow Labs, they have a complete knockoff of the Mosquito. I mean, it's not even a half-hearted knockoff. It is a complete and utter. Like.
Was that particularly loud?
No.
No.
Okay, that was the move test.
So I figured out that my squeaking Z had absolutely nothing to do with my brass nut.
Your squeaking Z?
Mm-hmm.
So after you pulled off the mask, it was Old Man Hibbard?
It was.
Wow.
And, you know, if it weren't for those pesky kids.
And that talking dog.
Dog. Do you ever notice that pretty much the villain is always some old white guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. It's been a while since Scooby-Doo.
Cartoons like from the 70s, so.
Anyway, so yeah, I've just been basically running move tests. You know, now looks like RepRap doesn't support ability, or if it does, I don't know.
For what?
A Z-probe repeatability test.
Ah, okay. I think it does list, if you tell it to probe multiple times, it will tell you some stats on it. including, I think, mean and standard deviation.
Okay, maybe then that's the case. So, you know about the M48 test, right?
No.
That is your Z. That's the G-code for Z Pro. There's my lead screw adjustments, height map, file loaded, and it went away before I could finish reading.
Ah.
That's all right.
You can always call it up and view it.
Yeah. So the height map, I don't know if you saw the discussion earlier on my bed.
Yeah.
That led to the 3-second video of me rocking my bed.
Yeah. Oh, that's, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to basically run. So where do we adjust the timeouts on like motor timeouts and things like that?
Timeouts for what?
Before like a hold mode, when you're in a hold
Oh.
mode.
God, I knew the answer to this at one point.
I think it's only like it's some really short value. It's like a minute. So if you're setting up like if you're doing bringing the bed up to temperature and letting it sit, right? Because you're just heating it up, and the motors are idle.
It might be 906.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to go back and look at that.
But yeah, don't quote me on that.
That seems to be a thing that could be a problem. Also wanted to ask you about my go no go gauges for aligning the rear vertical.
In live stream, I think I saw that. That's like a long printed part in both directions, right?
Yep, the little cream colored part.
I like it. I would totally take a pull request for those into tools, into like, because there's a section for Jubilee tools, like alignment tools. Because I have noticed people have had problems with that. The master students also had problems with that too, where the back one was skewed.
Okay. It just seems pretty easy. I mean, I just like, here's a go no go gauge.
Yeah.
Both in there, and I mean, it says 154.5, but it's really 154. Right?
It's really well.
It's marked at 154.5, but it's really 154.
I think you're right. There was some rounding.
Well, no, it's not that. I made the tool 154 because you had it plus or minus 0.5.
Okay, yeah.
So if it fits,
then you're good.
You're at least far enough out. If they both fit, then you just kind of center it between them. You can put a couple of business cards in the middle and done. I would love to have something like that on the front that I could slap up in the middle, and I'll measure mine and make them.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if somebody mentioned this. I think what would be cool is not necessarily like a universal part, but like a corner alignment piece that you stick in. Instead of the 1, 2, 3 block, we have like 2 printed parts that you can use as alignment as distance from the end extrusion. I think it was USB.
Yep. Well, I use 2550.
Yeah.
I used my 1, 2, 3 block. I had a set of 1, 2, 3 blocks for parallelism and perpendicularity, and I used the 25, my 25 edge for one end and 50 edge for the other end. And
one of my thoughts the other day. You know how we have a hard time with the L-shaped corner brackets, getting them kind of screwed in and not shifting around while you're doing it?
Yep. I do.
So one of my thoughts was to make like a plate with like a T in it, okay? And then basically have a screw on the 2 bottom sides, so you would, or you could do it on the top, probably do it on the top side, so you wouldn't affect alignment. So basically you would put the plate in, which is 90 degrees square it up, screw those screws in with your L brackets loose, then tighten your L brackets up, then take the temporary squaring jig off.
I mean, I could just use the T-plates that I took off my CR10, like the seat plates that I used. So
kinda, yeah.
So,
but my thought was to make them like a template with the right distances between everything possible.
Oh yeah.
Right.
All right. So I am working up. Let's see, I need to put those on. I need to print new tool posts because
The only, sorry.
no, go ahead.
The only problem that I have that I can see in theory with that is large flat parts that are precision printed are kind of difficult for people to consistently get out, especially if they only have like a smaller bed printer, Ender 3, etc., to get them out.
Oh, no. What you do is what you can do is you make it like an alignment toolkit that's laser cut, and you just offer them because they'll be cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not particularly expensive, and you can get some pretty precise laser cuts and for squareness and whatnot. And you're going to cut reliefs in the corners anyway, right? The corners aren't going to be 390 because you need a relief in that corner.
Yeah.
For other reasons, right? So you have a little offset radius in that corner. But it would be very easy to just have a set of go no go gauges that are like, they're a one-time tool use kind of thing, sort of, but it's also an alignment tool that you can use for truing up some dimensions, right?
Right.
Now, granted, I'm a tool guy, so there you go. Don't call me Tim. I'm not Tim the tool man.
Tool time.
More power.
Tool time.
We can rewire it. So also need to find some scripts for making my making my NeoPixels dance. So yeah, we could drive unless you've got a lot of USB things. If you got 2 USB cameras, you probably ought to drop off 10. Give or take.
All right, disappear. Hang out in the closet. Well, I mean, I've just got to print something, but I guess I'm taking the computer with me, and my headphones are connected, so it's not going anywhere, I suppose.
Are you wired? Or
We're all going in the closet
it's
with
Bluetooth,
Josh.
so I'm fortunate.
So I need to. So Eric, what fan did you end up with?
5015.
Is that the one that Luke had? The 5015?
Yes.
Okay. And we've also got evidence that you can, on the toolboards, with the toolboards, you just, for your fans, you don't use a 12 volt, you wire it to VN, and then goes to ground, because they're switching ground on the fan outputs. So they're doing PWM, and they're switching the ground. Although I don't see the offsets on the board, unless they're really tiny.
What was PWM? I'm sorry.
The fan speeds are being operated by PWM, and they're switching the ground. And even though it says they can only do 12 volts, they can really do VN because they're switching the ground, and the MOSFETs are rated in such a way that it's not an issue.
Wait. Oh, I see what you're saying.
The 12 volt, for whatever reason, they decided the 12 volt would be the thing. Everything else in Duet are 24 volts, right? And so, what did they do? They go to this tool board, and it has a VN, and they're providing 12 volt power instead of VN power to the PWM switched outputs, right? So you've got the driver 0, which is right off of VN, and then you've got a 3-pin and a 4-pin fan. And you got two temperatures, and then you got a heater block. So, and so they're switching on the fan they provided a 12-volt supply on the fan pin. So it's like, all right, so I've got a 24-volt machine. Everything on it is 20 except for the hotter.
Is there a 12-volt power source on the tool board itself?
Yep, there's a LR. Wait,
okay, that's weird. I don't know why they did that.
117M3 501839.
Well, the Noctua fans are 12 volts.
Yep, and as much as people say, oh, the Noctua fans not fair, they provide plenty of air at half the speed or half the decibel output.
Did anyone see the Noctua printer on Twitter?
No.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. Hang on. I think it's a Voron. It's not finished. Let me see if I can do. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me.
M3 by. Oh, they were way too. So what do we use the M3 by 6 flathead for?
M3 by 6 flat.
They're for putting the balls on the lock plate.
Okay, I can't make this one easily without scratching my head.
That's all right. I'm trying to figure out what size. I've got M3 by 16, but I don't think I made the screws anyway.
Oh, here's a question for you, which is.
I don't have the rail core yet. I can't answer that.
Say what?
I don't have the rail core yet. I can't answer that.
No. So here's another question for you, which is how tall of a spacer did you put in the Z section when you spaced it out?
15.
Oh, 15 millimeters tall?
Wait,
sorry. Like an aluminum spacer. Remember how we discussed putting the Z on aluminum spacer? Or sorry, Z motors, the stepper motors.
I put the steppers. I ended up not spacers. I used a 7 millimeter spacer block.
Oh, a spacer. Oh, so you just printed a spacer block.
I just printed a spacer block. I thought I showed that to you. I thought
okay.
I
maybe I just forgot. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
So I'm using I'm using a 7 millimeter 7 millimeter thick spacer block. I actually played around with a 6, 7, and an 8, and I counted them out, but I also knocked them out. I ended up going with the 7 millimeter spacer, and that's part of the reasons I needed the longer feet. With the regular feet, a 7 millimeter spacer the motor does not hit, but there's only 5 millimeters of clearance.
Yeah.
So my tall feet, black and white cookie feet, because that's what they make me think of when I look at them.
That makes sense.
What I need is some red TPU to put shoes on them. Anyway. So they're 60 millimeters tall, I think. But there is plenty of space underneath my Z motors, so I have lots of room under there.
Okay, 7 millimeters is a lot. Okay, so I was gonna redesign. Okay, thing. LDO is doing.
So the 7 millimeters. You want some close-ups of my machine? Because even with the 7 millimeter spacer, using the E3D motor, which is what I got, right? The tops of the steppers would flush with the Z support at the top. Because remember, you need to have your Z lead screw and your motor shaft do not come up flush against each other.
Right. They should not.
There's a centimeter of separation there.
Yeah.
So you got to maintain that. If you maintain the on that, then it does line up.
So weird. Okay.
So your couplings.
No, in the CAD model, they have like there's not that much space. I agree. I can actually check. But they're not they're not completely flush against each other, but they are close. Yeah, so I was gonna back them off between 4 and 6. I didn't realize you'd back them off so much.
Well, I mean 7. Because remember, I'm also using a 25mm shaft.
Right.
So my shaft is, it adds up. If I were to go to just a straight up, Z spacer, I would have to make my spacer 16.8mm long, or 17mm long, instead of the 10.
Okay, I'll do a rev. I'll try 6, see what I get. Because I have to. Yeah, or if you send me a cross section in the issue, that would also totally help. Of like the stack up. That would be great actually.
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
And Josh, on a completely random note, I figured out what I want to use that gear reduction drive for.
Oh, what?
The cable gear reduction drive.
Yeah.
Build a SCARA. Build a cable-driven SCARA.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Okay, I was thinking a Delta for a second. Yeah. That would do it. That could work.
So, SCARA.
I should recognize this. I just can't at the moment.
It's
think of a like an old repeatograph kind of pantograph style mechanism, but 3D printer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think oh, go ahead.
No, I mean absolutely. Core XY is based on that anyway.
Yep.
It's like the drafting tables.
Yeah, it's like
we did not have drafting machines.
But think of just like the arm. So you basically have a bent arm. You've got an arm with an elbow, and then it can rotate side to side.
Oh.
So you can basically draw in air. It's basically the equivalent of you like holding a pen and drawing in air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, that is a good description. I think a Delta, like putting those in the arms of a Delta.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because you can do the double jointed kind.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems so complicated, but I am going to build one over the summer. This is non-negotiable.
A Delta?
Non-negotiable.
It's not.
Where was your rail core going?
That's actually okay. So I was about to disappear for a minute. I am going to chat with someone. We're trying to add the tool changing setup to it. Once that's up and running, it should be good. Yeah, you can publish that. Soul Studio will help out with some of the parts, and then the Railcore group will have at least a 2-color tool changer.
So I'm gonna laugh, Josh. So your idea of relaxing after working on building and designing a 3D printer is to just go design and assemble somebody else's?
Okay, so it's a long story. But they were like, we met at Earth, and they were like, hey, we like E3D's coupler. We like your remote elastic lock. Would you be up for doing some sort of like add-on to the Railcore? Doesn't have to be perfect. And I was like, okay. And then like the coronavirus happened, and we all got sick.
Well, that's interesting. My Duet just randomly reset itself.
What?
That's always exciting.
I've heard about this, but I haven't actually seen it yet.
Are you an RC10 or RC8?
RC8.
Okay, that was one of the things. That was one of the bugs known bugs in RC8. Is random restarts.
Interesting. I thought the bugs were in RC10.
Well, I mean, there's always bugs. Well, there goes Y. There goes Z. Z. I just keep hitting the home all and bed mess just to keep things moving.
Yeah. Anyways, I figured I'd tell them yes, and if anything, like I help propagate the standard. We have a family of machines that have interchangeable tools. That's a win.
Well, Josh, when they decide that they want a beta test in a controlled environment and they want to send me a set of, go ahead and put my name in.
I will.
Because I'll have a real
Yeah, that's true. Well, I can also. So they did pick a couple people already.
Oh darn. Oh well.
That doesn't mean that like I can't just send you stuff. Uh, yeah, because everything's supposed to be available at Phillips Shooter more or less. So you won't be like waiting on any.
Yeah, that's all right. When I'm more than a little tempted to just when I order the corner plates, order the rest of the rail core expand like the Magnum idlers and the corner plates that are needed for that. And
Mhm.
just order them all at the same time,
Yeah.
which is about what $350 when you start adding it all.
Yeah, it can be. Okay, and with that,
So do your thing.
the printer is printing.
Sorry, I don't have a heated bed yet. Or I have a
Dang, yeah. Well, hey, so if you want, you can actually. I don't know if 713 Maker's still selling the unmagnetic ones, but if they are, you can get one of those mag sheets that what's his name recommended. Ocho Camino
yeah.
recommended. He said he actually likes them a lot more than the magnetic bed plates. So I was like, I should try this out. It's also cheaper.
Well, it's like the Wham Bam system.
Yeah, apparently though the ones that he specced are like actually rated for 150C.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, so just go back in the chat. That's if that's an option that you want to have. I was tempted to play with it because if it actually ends up working out really well, then I might put that in the bomb, at least list it as an alternate because it is cheaper.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Order a 713.
non-magnetic plate.
Which about $60,
Oh, that's cool. That's nice and cheap.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's like 60, 70.
I'm kind of curious as to whether the machining would be better. Is 713 still making beds at this point?
Yes, and we just talked. They're gonna make it the new rev of the bed, which will have the bolt pattern.
And the pocket in the back for the thermistor and the fuse.
Oh, are they out? Looks like Emrosa is here. Hello, Emrosa. So looks like they may be out. Oh, damn. So let me know if you want one, because I have one that I might be able to send. I'm not sure if I can send it to you. Unclear if I can send it to you, mainly because I didn't pay for it with my own money.
No worries. If you want me to go ahead and order try one of the other beds or that magnetic bed material, we can evaluate it and send it back when we're done. Changing beds is part of the problem, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll see if there's a way I can get you one, because I have a couple non-magnetic ones that are just kind of sitting around for now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. I was a little disappointed. I thought I thought the bed was going to be a better condition.
Yeah, it's too bad. Okay, and with that,
it definitely looks like a twist. And I checked the machine. The frame is fine.
Damn. A plot twist.
Yeah, well. All right.
I will disappear. Cheers. We'll see how long it lasts. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, Steve, I don't have any shipping information.
Oh, okay. I'm not in any particular hurry. I'm currently assembling lots of things, so the coolness is I've managed to cut the time for my the COVID masks down to like an hour and a half with a 0.4 nozzle.
Wow. So you bumped the line width and went to like 0.3, 0.6 on the line width and 0.3 on the height?
I actually went to 0.45 on the line width. I went to 0.3 on the layer height. I actually dropped my temperature slightly. I found that my temps being hot was causing bubbling and causing lots of misprints. So I dropped it a couple degrees till it was reliable, much more reliable.
Okay.
And I have it now printing at the upper end is 80 millimeters a second, and the lower end is like 60. So like
Got it.
inner layers are at like 80 millimeters, and outer layers are at like 60.
Got it. Yeah,
Um,
I'm finding I'm somewhat disappointed in these bolts.
in what?
I got a set of Bolt Depot bolts, flatheads, and they keep twisting out. They keep stripping out the
Oh.
head,
Really?
and they're seamless. So
That's odd.
you know, the thing is, the socket is really shallow because it's a flathead.
Oh.
So this is one of those situations where I really need to tap the hole first.
I don't know if I've ever stripped a Bolt Depot bolt.
Well, maybe it's the tool, maybe it's not. So anyway, we'll figure it out. I am, I think, with a little standoff, I can get this tool board mounted. I am going to need to make a bracket for the top. That's easy. So yeah, I've got a. The other thing is the holes on the sides of my tool posts are undersized because I tend to drill and tap holes like that. If I'm going to thread something into it
Yeah.
correctly, I intentionally make it through it before I run the. I take it to size with a tap drill, and then I'll tap the hole. And if I don't, it's really hard to thread a screw into it. But, so how are things up in the Great Midwest?
Pretty good so far. It's really funny. I was talking to my fiance today and going over the like, has it really been that long, and have we not gone mad in the meantime kind of thing? Because I literally, other than a short jaunt that I made last weekend, where I literally like drove and got something and then came back home. And that included a refreshing sitting in a random parking lot with my cell phone talking to a friend for a half hour, just because not my house. Um, things have been pretty good. I'm guessing with the way things are going that I will probably end up in a work from home situation for probably the next 4 months. Because I will be at the last of everything.
No, I think I'm going to be in a work from home situation. So long as I keep working.
Yeah.
That was the normal state anyway.
I fall into the have asthma and technically immune compromised category. So
yeah, you're a high risk individual.
I'm a high risk individual to start with, and then you put the other things that I do at work, and they really don't want me to risk that. You know, like that's just there. But probably not. Let's avoid that. So Eric, how's your prints going?
I think I'm having some issues with my tool locking not being consistent. Like I can do one filament really well, but not really the point of the machine to be able to do one filament really well.
Some YouTuber the other day, I forget who it was Tom Solander was talking about how he has an MMU 1 machine, so he has like a MK2S, an MMU 1, and he's like, well, it's not reliable as an MMU for color change. It is reliable for continuous printing. So pick a filament and then print and print and print, and then just use filament.
How long? I mean, how many? It's 5, right? Five inputs.
Yeah.
Are you watching
Can
the
you
stream?
imagine putting 25 kilos of filament on that?
Exactly.
Well, my thing is like I'm also in the process of building a white knight, right?
Yeah.
So imagine setting up the white knight with an MMU with 25 kilos of filament on it, right? All the same color, whatever, right? Doesn't really matter if they're all the same color, but anyway, and then you're continuously printing face shield brackets, and they just roll off the end of the bed into a bucket, because that's how it works.
So
You just print to go. What's that?
Our group that's doing the face shields, we've moved to a bracketless version that doesn't need the. Ours had like a little elastic slip adjustable thing on the back of it. Their new one is similar to a couple of the designs I've seen out there, where it just has a loop for elastic to loop through.
Oh yeah, that's what ours is. Ours, and I posted it in the group. So, and it's got a little bit of it's got a grip guard on the front, but it doesn't come all the way up. And that's the one that the local hospital has decided, and basically the entire Hampton Roads area, those are the ones they want to use. And they've been approved. So EDMS looked at it and went, yeah, okay. It's Eastern Virginia Medical School. And they approved it all, so the whole region's using it.
Between little tweaks that they made with it, and then the tweaks that I made, like I said, I've got it down to like an hour and 3 to an hour and 20, depending on which filament that I'm using, and that's still using a 0.4 nozzle. So if I don't want to, so I'm holding off on messing with switching nozzles, just because the last time I switched, it took me 3 days of downtime to get everything dialed back in, right?
Yeah.
Changing profiles, changing.
Right there with you.
Yeah. So I'm like, right now.
I'm finishing on about every 30 minutes. So,
yeah.
But I have a print farm, so
right.
There's that. And I'm standing on. I've got my feet up on a box with an Ender 5 in it, so, or an Ender 5 Pearl in it that I need to put together and add for print farm. So what I need is shelves, and right now it's like, we can have your shelves delivered in mid-May. Like, okay. I don't have enough space to set them up. I want to put them on a rack like Ray's got, or Luke's got.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm ready to mount the Hemera.
My friend Jeff is now up to, I think, 5 printers that are printing code mass 24/7. Pretty much.
No, just kidding.
It's ridiculous, because he is probably my best friend, and he has a tendency of, like, when he does something, he does it. So he built an enclosure for his Prusa, and it has, LEDs, everywhere. It has, like.
Oh, take a look at the enclosure that Mandela Roseworks has got on.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
it is a pretty enclosure. I really like it.
His enclosure isn't just pretty. He built a fire suppression system into it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that he does.
You saw the enclosure the controlled enclosure that I shared from the group, right? Did you see that?
Maybe.
So it's got humidity and temperature sensing. It's got load cells on each of the racks, the filament racks. So each filament spool has a load cell built into it, so you know how much your filament weighs.
He didn't go that far. He does have temperature and humidity measurements in all of his enclosures, plus his basements. So, like, down in his basement where his printers all are, he has one in each printer case.
Okay.
And then he built in some LED light strips to keep it nice and lighted. He built a fire suppression system into it, and then the funnier part was he went and had custom tables manufactured from some company up in Cleveland that makes really nice like furniture. That like it's like steel and like this really like beautiful kind of rough cut wood that's been epoxied for the tabletop. But his reasoning for getting them was A, they're heavy enough that printer vibrations don't move them.
Well, yeah.
And they're just the right size. And B, they're furniture quality so that when he's done with all of this stuff, if he doesn't, if he cuts back to, less printers, he just bought some furniture, not just something just for 3D printers.
That's okay. You can also write it off as all the donations.
Yeah.
You can write them off as an expense. So there's a reason I made the guy I'm buying business from. Made him give me an invoice instead of just a purchase.
Yeah.
Because that sucker is going into the that are going to get reported as an expense. So if my customers are going to start sending me invoices or 99 answers without telling me that they were going to do it, because most of the stuff is under the table. But
Yeah.
all right, if you're going to send me that, I'm gonna start writing this stuff off.
Yeah. But it's funny because like I said, he went from having, his Prusa and then Delta that he bought that was something he was just playing with because he wanted a Delta, right?
Yeah.
To now he's got, 5 printers, and like his whole weekend this weekend was swapping out components that have started to fail. Like his Ender 3, the wheels on the y-axis x-axis were slightly over tightened, and so he was grinding the wheels away pretty badly.
Well, check again, because the wheels themselves, it really does take a lot to damage those wheels. What they are, especially if you're not grounding your crossbar. If you don't ground that crossbar, it is just a huge static generator as that wheel rolls back and forth. So it generates a lot, and it picks up like fluff that gets ground into the wheel right there. And it looks like it's in much worse shape than it actually is. So just be aware of that.
The extrusions on his looked like somebody with dandruff just like shook their head all over his printer.
Yeah, that's it's a static problem generally. Just have them wipe them down and then do an inspection on the wheels and see if.
Well, I also had him check the wheels and retention, and he was like, "Oh yeah, one of these is really loose, and the other one's like clamped down like a mofo."
Yeah, you should check them fairly frequently.
And then he bought a cheapo Delta, and that's actually been pretty reliable at this point. I have helped him replace the electronics for it with basically an SKR. So he's now got multiple SKRs on order because he's replacing the CR10S's board with an SKR. Same thing with the Ender 3.
Yeah, the Ender 3 works well. And then the turbo, the SKR 1.4 turbos work really well for the CR10.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, they've got the dual V.
Yep.
Which is really, really helpful. I mean, it's not really, it's a single V stepper, but it's got both connectors.
Yeah.
So
that a picture of?
That's a brim. It's actually alternating red and black filament every. I said it's a brim that's.
You're underwater. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
It's very shiny.
What?
Is that your ooze shield?
Yeah, but I just thought it was interesting because it's alternating red and black every other layer, so it kind of has an interesting effect. It looks actually better in person than it does in the picture.
Oh, did you, so EM Rosa, did you order the panels from Steve? Because he's got panels.
No, they got them from Bilal because they made some changes to them.
Okay.
So I've got one set left at this point.
How much did they cost from?
I've got to mail them out this week.
How much did they cost from Paloli?
The delivery is the hard part.
Yeah.
I think they're in like Colorado, if I remember right.
Oh no, not that place. I see that you're in the live stream and you're typing. So, for whatever reason, I'm not scrolling. So how about it, Brian? Oh, 8 kids. Awesome. I had 4. Oh, I've got 4. I still have 4. They're just adults.
I was gonna say, did you lose them?
No. I mean, I have one that won't talk to anybody, but that's his problem. I mean, we're here if he ever decides he needs us again. But if that's the thing. That's the thing that happened.
Well, 75% isn't a bad average.
What's that?
Nothing. I was just being dumb.
Hey guys, I'm gonna drop off of this for the night, I think.
Yeah, you're gonna play video games for a few hours?
No, God no. I did that the other night, and that was such a mistake because I worked and early and it hurt.
Yeah.
I've got somebody leaving our team this week, and they've asked me to pick up all of his stuff. And his stuff is lots of tedious stuff. So, yeah.
Debrief.
Yep. And
That was. Oh, by the way, could I get you to come to the office? And security is standing there to escort you out of the building. By the way, this is your 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. Well, hey guys.
All right. Have a good night.
Talk to you.
Sure thing. Yeah, Steve's been cutting a lot of, not Steve, but Eric's been blazing a lot of trails with what he's doing because there's a lot of interaction with his build and able to find areas where there is
room for improvement.
Oh my.
Oh.
Anyway, so
Yeah, what happened to everybody? There was a bunch.
Everybody left. Is that single alternating layers?
Well, what it's doing is it's printing red and black on the same layer, but it's alternating like which one's on the outside.
Oh,
so,
neat.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
You've got a translucent filament in there, so.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really cool effect if we could apply that to an actual print.
Yeah, I need to make a new tool post. Because the tool post that I have will not. I have the first generation tool post. So I got to make a new generation, the next generation tool post. Because that's the thing, right? And you said the 50-15, the 4010 fan is anemic?
Well, it's possible that I had a bad fan because remember it was kind of not exactly making the best noises.
Oh, that's right.
So it may possibly have been that as was the major issue, but
Okay. I mean, I know that I've used 4010 fans. I mean, that's the stock fan for the Enders, and it seems I could get pretty good builds out of it. Not the best builds, but pretty good builds. Super 21. I have a magnetic tray that came with the screwdriver that is no longer functional. Is really useful for keeping your Allen wrenches from sliding all over the place. You just kind of toss it towards it and it sticks. And I have the exciting prospect of getting all three cats into that crate.
exciting prospect of what?
Anyway. Sorry.
Your machine sounds just like my machine. I mean, I know it should, but it's kind of interesting. It's almost like I'm hearing my machine.
You are really, really faint, like you're facing away from the mic.
I don't really understand what's going on. I'm using the same mic and same setup as usual.
Kind of weird. Okay.
What do you have my volume set to?
Oh, that's a really good question. Hold on. 100%. Anyway, 100%. Yeah.
It's set to maximum?
No, 200% is maximum.
Oh, okay. Well, I usually have.
You go from I can hear you to I can't hear you, so that's really all it is.
I don't know. Don't know.
All right.
Guess I can turn myself up a little. Hear me any better? No?
A little bit. This is not the right process. Not the right time. Where's the right time? That is also not right. That is a discussion thing. I know why that one's discussion, because my part cooling fan failed low. And that fan bracket is for that is the correct thing. So I made fan brackets, and I've got a volcano fan bracket and a bracket. Need to get the right fan bracket in the right spot. Go back to the drawing board, because that screw is not long enough. Oh, that's designed to slap a tool board on. Never mind. So that one's for having a tool board on top. That is a different fan. That sticks out the front, and that is, well, is all nice and good, there's a 50-15 at an angle. And means that it's not going to fit in the box. So I'm at the stage where I need to put new tool posts or new parking posts.
Gotcha.
So that one works. That generates way too much airflow. So let me happen. So yeah, I need to find a 50-15 fan for the end of the night. The 4010 is really low profile, which is kind of nice, right? But you know, a low profile fan is great, except when it isn't, right?
Yeah.
And the fan duct really only comes at it from sometimes it's on. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just been concentrating on something.
Oh yeah, no. I don't have the stream running, I'm sorry.
Have any favorite fonts?
Huh?
Have any favorite fonts?
Trying to get the live stream to load up again.
Just the printer printing. Not really much to see at the moment. I mean, if you want to watch the printer print, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, it's always fun to watch the printer print. Right?
Indeed.
Like, what do you do? I live stream print. What do you mean? Well, I just have a stream running continuously, so people can just come in and watch printers print. And maybe we'll do a day where we're just doing a Delta. It'll just be printing it, and we're actually printing little printers. So it'll be printing a printer, printer on a live stream. Does that seem very silly?
What is with this thing?
Ooh, that's interesting. You got a box inside of a box inside of a box?
Oh, there's two boxes inside one big box.
Yeah, but they're different colors.
Yes. I'm testing something. Okay.
picture I just posted. I think that's a drop the table down a little bit.
1 second. I was. Hold on. Okay, what were you saying?
So, I've got a tool board on there right now.
Right. I had some music playing because I was watching a video, so I didn't hear what you said at first.
Oh, that's all right. I just posted a picture where this is the Hamera mount that I don't even know if I've got it updated or not. It's got 3 heat set inserts in the top. I don't have the cable management bracket on it yet. And it's covering the name because of where I'm putting the tool board. But I was thinking if I could, I don't know if I really want to move the tool board any farther down, though I could. So I took the screws out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't see that there's any problem leaving a little extra room in there.
Okay. I mean, it does stick it above the top of the tool. What I was considering doing is essentially it needs offsets, right? So it's not flush up against it, because there's one thing I've noticed about the Duet stuff is their back of their boards is typically a lot more, like a lot longer posts and things like that. So, but have the standoffs right on the back. And what I was going to do is have a standoff, triangular standoff printed that has the holes, so the screws go through into the frame, and then comes straight out the top. And the standoff itself has the cable management, so you can adjust your cable management for wherever it needs to be. So in this case, it would be offset a little bit, it wouldn't be straight down in. And so there would be a bracket that's a couple of meters thick that would stand the tool board off. Is that going to be in the... Let's see if I can lock up. So I have a tool locked on right now. Oh yeah, there's lots of clearance. There's lots of them. Yeah, if you unlock it, definitely can see dropping on there. Suffers are heavy. Are we having fun yet?
Of course.
Did you run a Bowden tube all the way to the Hangout?
Do I run a Bowden tube?
All the way from
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now I do. I run it from the Hemera all the way to the mount.
All the way to the school?
Basically, yeah. Here, I'll snap a picture for you.
I think, yeah.
This isn't my permanent setup. This is just what I have going on at the moment. But
Is it in the live stream chat?
it will be in just a moment.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I mean, that looks really nice, except it's really long.
Yeah, the loops are probably excessively big, but I just made them the size of a zip tie at the
But
time.
it also means that they're not actually flexing.
Yeah. I'm not really that worried about the extra height.
Yeah. Alright, so I need to print a new tool post.
Yeah. Printing a double shell all the way around the print is wasting a lot of filament for sure.
Yeah.
But this is, like I said, this is mostly just an experiment to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm out of my yellow pen that I use for printing my parts. I've got a spool that's supposed to be arriving in the next day or so. I've got 3 spools that's supposed to be arriving. I could just print it in PETG, but so is PETG a good tool post? Parking position? I thought it said.
I'm using PLA at the moment.
What's that?
I'm using PLA at the moment, but
Okay.
I'm not. I don't know. I think the whole design needs to get stiffened up, to be honest.
You think so? Okay.
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna try to use your spring cup design.
Okay. I might revise that in the near future, but if you want to just print one for the time being, it'd be fine. It's working great. But I can flex the entire thing if I rock the tool by hand.
Yeah.
If I don't see it flexing when it's picking up the tools, like Josh was talking about earlier. But I think it could be stiffened for sure.
Okay.
But I also don't really like how it's connected to the actual base plate.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to redesign the entire dock at some point. But it should be at least as good as the dock that Josh had designed with the springs. I left everything to default thickness. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to beef up the thickness of things.
Alright. So that they're stiffer or whatnot.
I almost want to do something like 3D printed dovetail or something like that for the Z adjustment.
Well, you can get really nice dovetails. I mean, that's what the that part for the brush wiper, where it extends out. That's writing in a dovetail.
Yeah, so I think I'd almost like to do that because it can twist, it can be out of level. So if it rode in like a nice wide 3D printed dovetail, it would keep it a lot more centered, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Something I've been contemplating is all I can say for sure. So I've got my video all set up, and I think I like it. I won't know for sure until I actually compile it. But the first 9 seconds of the video is silent, and I don't know what to do about it.
That's awkward.
I was thinking about doing some sound effects, but I really don't feel like it right now. Like, or what would be ideal is if I had like a 10-second intro that was like, this is a little jingle for my channel. But I think I'm going to just say F it for now, compile it, and then I will work on an intro for future videos, I think.
Yeah, go for it. Seems to work.
I do have some free music I found, so I like it.
Some royalty-free music?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I found one I like in particular. How do I compile the project? I forgot. Nope, that's not it.
Start printing a tool post. So I have a tool post for this one. Function position. So right now I don't have a function position, much less anything else. So I need to get one of those put together. And I need the tool board. So I need a tool board adapter. So the tool with the cable mounted. That's a 30 watt heater.
Okay, it is exporting.
Okay.
I think I need to stop streaming because it is not helping me render right now. So I'm going to be heading to bed soon anyway.